Welcome to the MLB Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. We got Mo Nawara in the Midwest, and we are looking at a Wednesday slate here with a lot of day games, but we do have some of those night games that we love to bring you to choose from tonight. Make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page. Continue to follow along with us as we are bringing you these videos each and every weekday of this regular season. Also want you to head to thelines.com. Got plenty of great content up there all summer long as we are headed into the fall as well, and have that great odds checker tool on there. Make sure you're shopping all those lines to the best of your ability with that odds checker tool on thelines.com. And as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com. Find those listings in your area, such as what we've got for tonight's evening time MLB slate here, kicking things off with the Reds in Philly, taking on the Phillies. Christopher Sanchez on the mound for the Phils. TJ Zook for the Reds, minus 245 for the Phillies at home. The White Sox are on the road in Baltimore. Luis Giolito taking on Spencer Watkins on the mound for the O's, minus 120 for the White Sox on the road there. Mike Mayers and the Angels are in Tampa Bay taking on Shane McClanahan, minus 265 for the Rays at home. Jose Berrios and the Jays are on the road again against the Sox. Brian Bello on the mound there. The Jays are minus 150 on the road there. Mike Mikolas and the Cards in Chicago taking on Luke Farrell, minus 210 for the Cards there. Dylan Bundy and the Twins are in Houston taking on Framber Valdez, minus 230 for Valdez and the Stros at home. The Diamondbacks and Zach Gallen are in Kansas City taking on Brady Singer, minus 130, and a pretty ugly matchup there, but a slight pitching edge probably for the D-backs there on the road. And finalizing things for tonight, the Brewers and Adrian Hauser are in LA in a pretty good matchup versus Andrew Heaney and the Dodgers. Dodgers are huge favorites in this one, minus 245 as well. So let's kick things off here, guys, with a game that we are going to talk about, and that White Sox-Baltimore matchup, minus 120 for Giolito and those White Sox in Baltimore. So kick things off for us, Nate. What are you looking at with Giolito and Watkins on the mound?
Two guys with the potential to just implode. And so I think the over is definitely in play here. First of all, at 8.5, it's pretty much even money. Especially the White Sox bullpen has been dreadful for weeks now. Orioles bullpen, very good, and they backed up Austin Voth yesterday. Hold on to that win. Watkins, his ERA is low, and he's got plenty of peripherals better than his rookie season where he had nowhere to go but up. I mean, let's be fair here. He was just absolutely awful as a rookie, got sent back down. The thing I'm looking at, though, is his best pitch is his slider. That rates 5 runs above average, and he's going to have to lean on that. And in the last 14 days, the White Sox are the number one team against sliders. So I think they will be able to provide some run support here. With Giolito, I mean, he's in the Jose Berrios camp where it's just like, could you give up 7 runs or, pitch a gem? There are some indicators that he's just not the same pitcher he was 2 years ago, or he flirted with the Cy Young. I mean, his velocity's continued to fall a little bit. Swinging strike rate continues to fall. A little better on the road this year, and the fact that 4 of his 5 blow-ups in recent months have come against Houston and Toronto gives me, the other one against Cleveland too, gives me some confidence that he can, we can see the good Giolito here in Baltimore. He did pretty much shut down this lineup last year. I mean, when the O's lost 110 games, so that's a completely different story, but 21 Ks over 12 innings. I think, the White Sox slight edge here. Definitely not with the bullpen, so if you want to, again, bet first half White Sox, that makes sense. Or I think taking their team total makes sense because Spencer Watkins is consistently vulnerable, whereas Giolito is just inconsistent.
I think that's a pretty fair assessment overall. I just don't know how I'm supposed to believe in Spencer Watkins. Still has, even with his very good season, he still has a 4.82 xERA, 4.87 Sierra. The computers don't believe in him at all. They have him above a 5 ERA. I think they're being a little harsh because it does seem like adding the cutter has done something for him. It's been his second best pitch by pitch info pitch values, but I'm still seeing a well below average starter here. And as far as Giolito goes, just struggling with BABIP issues, home runs. You nailed it when you said his fastball's lost some heat. It's down a tick to 93. But I still think I agree with the projections that have him better than a 4 ERA. Like, they have him around 3.8, 3.7. I mean, that's where his Sierra sits. batters aren't making a ton of hard contact against him, so it doesn't seem like he should be underperforming his peripherals by near this much. Only 28% hard contact rate. Yeah, I just feel like given all the difference between these two pitchers, it does seem like Baltimore's lineup has to be a fair amount better for the White Sox to only be minus 120 here, but I don't think that's a thing. I know the White Sox have had a million injuries, but they still have Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez, and Jose Abreu. I mean, those might be three hitters better than anybody Baltimore has. So it's really tough to just believe in that Baltimore offense is this much better, I guess. And I do think there's some value on the White Sox at minus 120. I took them a little bit better than that, but not by much. So this is still a very good line, I think. Yeah, I would bet this up to minus 125.
Yeah, for sure. And those White Sox have been hot on offense as we've been talking about getting those bats back into shape and to sort of more of the expectation of what we thought they were going to be doing this season. Moving on to a game here with a team that actually has been underachieving hugely on offense in the Twins, but they are in Houston right now taking on Framber Valdez tonight. Dylan Bundy on the mound. I do think the Twins are going to have to score a few more runs than they've been used to as of late in order to win this one. I don't know that they have what it takes to do that against Valdez right now. They've only scored 4 runs or more in one of their last 10. So not much to say for them on offense right now in a matchup where you really do favor Valdez on the mound for the Stros. You've got the Twins at plus 198 on the road here, Mo. Talk to me about what you're thinking in this game, if there's any value on either of these teams. And obviously we love the opportunity, if there was one, to bet plus 198 on a team and get some of that juice back.
Yeah, Twins they made it a little bit interesting late last night. I think they had the winning run come to the plate when they were like plus 300, but couldn't come home. This one, I'm the number one Framber guy. I think I've been the number one Framber guy all year. I know Minnesota's offense has been shitting the bed, but I don't think it's the worst matchup for them today. They're third against left-handed sinkers, 7th against left-handed curves. That makes up 80% of Framber's pitches. Also, they don't hit the ball on the ground that often, which is big. Framber is just obviously a monster when it comes to inducing grounders. Problem is, Byron Buxton, I think, is going to be out here. The top half of the lineup still looks pretty good to me, though. And then Dylan Bundy, he's been fairly solid this year, but I'm still looking at like a mid-4s projection here. So home runs have still been an issue. 1.3 per 9. I mean, that's better than it was last year, but against a team that has a ton of right-handed power and a great right-handed power park, we could see Houston pile some runs up. I think over 7.5 is worth a look here. It's a little low with offenses this good, and only one good pitcher on the mound.
Yeah, I mean, Bundy is not missing bats at all really this year. It seems like he's been pretty lucky to have navigated his last few starts. He's throwing 68% first strike rate. I mean, Houston is an aggressive team that should be all over that. He does have good reverse platoon splits, so that's a mixed bag against this lineup, though. I mean, Houston does have some dangerous lefties, so I wouldn't worry about them putting runs up. And, I mean, they've done their part to go over. In really the last couple of weeks, they've been consistently scoring. It's like you guys said, the Twins have been struggling, but Framber showing some chinks in the armor here in 2 of his last 3 when against the White Sox and Guardians. Pretty alarming exit velocity and not getting them to chase it all. And so you face another team from the top half of that division, a team with the 3rd lowest ground ball rate against lefties all season and match up pretty well against his pitch diet as well. I think Minnesota will be able to come along at least with a few runs. That is why I like the over. And I think, that you could get one of those late inning shifts where the Twins actually pull this off, and I think that's worth a look at plus 200 on a slate where there are tons of huge underdogs, and this is maybe the one we believe in the most.
Yeah, I feel that I'm with it, and I love all the juice that we're trying to get back on this one. Taking advantage of Framber isn't always the best idea this season, but there might be a spot here, as you mentioned, Nate, to find a little bit of weakness and vulnerability there to be able to bet on those Twinkies. Let's finish things off here once again with another AL Central squad. We got the Royals at home against the Diamondbacks. Zach Gallen on the mound for the D-backs, taking on Brady Singer. A matchup of two pitchers that doing decently this season for both of them on two very, very bad teams, two very, very bad bullpens, pretty much the bottom two if you really look at most of the important stats here. Two of the bottom 10 offenses, 92 WRC plus for the Royals, 93 for those D-backs. So the question really becomes, who do you like more to really hang in the game, stay in there, avoid making his team go to that pen, which is so atrocious for both of these squads. I don't really love either of it, but maybe there's an angle here that I'm missing. So, Nate, kick us off with the Gallen and Singer matchup in Kansas City here.
I mean, both these guys are young talents who have just been fantastic in the second half. You look at Gallen, 0.92 ERA, 31% K rate, over 39 innings since the break. All season, high leverage, hasn't given up a homer, has a 17% infield fly ball rate. Singer, 18th overall pick a few years ago. He's starting to figure it out. Second half, he has a 1.8 ERA in high leverage all season, allowing 120 batting average, 188 with runners in scoring position. So I think we actually like the under here after those two overs we talked about. Both these guys are super talented, like you said. Both lineups not very good. Singer has been striking out a lot of lefties, getting high ground ball rate against righties. So despite the bullpen concerns that could get us into trouble late innings if you take the under here, maybe you want first half under and just backing these two guys to continue doing what they've been doing in the second half here and throwing quality starts.
Yeah, every time I watch both of these guys, they're just completely untouchable lately. I think I must be down more units fading Gallen than maybe any other pitcher this year. And if you did nothing but bet Brady Singer starts for the last month and a half, you are well on your way to gold rocket car status. He's like plus 170 or better, or more, I guess, longer, like every game. I think you definitely did hit on something that's important, Josh. We do want to see some length out of these pitchers because these bullpens, that's really my only concern in this. But, they have provided length. Both of them are averaging about 6 innings pitched per start. Singer hasn't gone less than 6 innings pitched since July 3rd, so he's just been an absolute machine. Having a career year. Sierra down to 3.4. That's right where Gallen's at, too. And honestly, Singer, the worst of his peripherals is like 3.78. That's StatCast, so StatCast doesn't believe he's this good, but still believes he's pretty damn good. And Gallen, I think Gallen might just be better than his peripherals. 400 innings at this point, outperforming his peripherals by half a run. So I think they're not capturing something there. It might be the pop-ups that Nate referenced. And he's actually, man, for a guy who gets pop-ups, he's getting a ton of grounders too, 49% grounders, and that's really, really good when you're pitching in front of the second best defense by outs above average anyway. So, two really good pitchers, two pretty bad offenses. Just hoping for no pen meltdown here, basically.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, it definitely has the makings of a 3-1 game, but it's also two super erratic bullpens, as we mentioned. So something to look at there, even in the first 5 in consideration, as Nate mentioned as well. So that is all the time we have for you guys in this one. Make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page. Continue to follow along with us as we are bringing you these videos each and every weekday of this regular season. So until we see you next, happy betting.